1950, All About Eve. All About Eve is a 1950 American drama film written and directed by Joseph L. Mankiewicz. It is based on the 1946 short story, and subsequent 1949 radio drama, The Wisdom of Eve, by Mary Orr, although he didn't receive a screen credit. All About Eve, highly praised by critics at the time of its release, it received a record 14 nominations at the 23rd Academy Awards, becoming the only film in Oscar history to receive 4 female acting nominations: Bette Davis and Anne Baxter as Best Actress, Celeste Holm and Thelma Ritter as Best Supporting Actress. It went on to win 6 awards including Best Picture as well as Best Director and Best Adapted Screenplay, Mankiewicz's second consecutive wins in both categories. 1951, An American in Paris. An American in Paris is a 1951 American musical romantic comedy film directed by Vincente Minnelli from a script by Alan J. Lerner, starring Gene Kelly, Leslie Caron, her film debut, Oscar Levant, Georges Guettari and Nina Foch. It inspired by the 1928 jazz-influenced symphonic poem, or tone poem, An American in Paris by George Gershwin. The film is set in Paris. An American in Paris was an enormous success, garnering 8 Academy Award nominations and winning 6, including Best Picture for Arthur Freed, Best Story and Screenplay for Alan J. Lerner, Best Cinematography, Color for John Alton and Alfred Gilks, Best Costume Design, Color, Best Scoring of a Musical Picture and Best Art Direction, Color, as well as earning other industry honors such as the inaugural Golden Globe Award for Best Motion Picture, Musical or Comedy. Gene Kelly received Academy Honorary Award. 1952, The Greatest Show on Earth. The Greatest Show on Earth is a 1952 American drama film produced and directed by Cecil B. DeMille, set in the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus. The film stars Betty Hutton and Cornell Wilde as trapeze artists competing for the center ring and Charlton Heston as the circus manager. James Stewart also stars as a mysterious clown who never removes his makeup, and Dorothy Lamour and Gloria Graham also play supporting roles. In addition to the actors, the real Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus 1951 troupe appears in the film with its complement of 1,400 people, hundreds of animals and 60 railroad cars of equipment and tents. The actors learned their circus roles and participated in the acts. The film's storyline is supported by lavish production values, actual circus acts and documentary-style views into the complex logistics behind big-top circuses. The film won 2 Academy Awards for Best Picture and Best Story and was nominated for Best Costume Design, Best Director and Best Film Editing. It also won Golden Globe Awards for Best Cinematography, Best Director and Best Motion Picture, Drama. 1953, From Here to Eternity. From Here to Eternity is a 1953 American romantic war drama film directed by Fred Zinnemann and written by Daniel Teradash. It's based on the 1951 novel of the same name by James Jones. It deals with the tribulations of 3 United States Army soldiers, played by Burt Lancaster, Montgomery Clift, and Frank Sinatra, stationed on Hawaii in the months leading up to the attack on Pearl Harbor. It won 8 Academy Awards out of 13 nominations, including Best Picture, Adapted Screenplay, Best Director for Fred Zinnemann, Supporting Actor for Frank Sinatra and Supporting Actress for Donna Reed. The film's title originates from Rudyard Kipling's 1892 poem, Gentlemen Rankers, about soldiers of the British Empire who had lost their way and were damned from here to eternity. 1954, On the Waterfront. On the Waterfront is a 1954 American crime drama film, directed by Elia Kazan and written by Bud Schulberg. The black and white film was inspired by Crime on the Waterfront by Malcolm Johnson, a series of articles published in December 1948 in the New York Sun, which won the 1949 Pulitzer Prize for local reporting. But the screenplay by Bud Schulberg is directly based on his own original story. The film focuses on Union violence and corruption among longshoremen, while detailing widespread corruption, extortion and racketeering on the waterfronts of Hoboken, New Jersey. This film was a critical and commercial success and is considered one of the greatest films ever made. It received 12 Academy Award nominations and won 8, including Best Picture, Best Actor for Marlon Brando, Best Supporting Actress for Eva Marie Saint and Best Director for Elia Kazan. In 1997, it was ranked by the American Film Institute as the 8th greatest American movie of all time in AFI's 2007 list. It was ranked 19th. 1955, Marty. Marty is a 1955 American romantic drama film directed by Delbert Mann in his directorial debut. The screenplay was written by Paddy Chayefsky, expanding upon his 1953 teleplay, which was broadcast on the Philco Goodyear Television Playhouse and starred Rod Steiger in the title role. It received 8 Academy Award nominations and won 4. Including Best Picture, Best Director for Delbert Mann, Best Actor for Ernest Borgnine, Best Screenplay for Paddy Chayefsky. The film enjoyed international success, becoming the first film to win the Palme d'Or. Marty, The Lost Weekend, 1945, Parasite, 2019, and Honora, 2024, are the only 4 films to win both organizations' grand prizes. 1956, Around the World in 80 Days. Around the World in 80 Days is a 1956 American epic adventure comedy film directed by Michael Anderson. The screenplay, based on the classic 1873 novel of the same name by Jules Verne, was written by James Poe, John Farrow, and S.J. Perelman. The film's 6-minute-long animated title sequence, shown at the end of the film, was created by award-winning designer Saul Bass. The film was nominated for 8 Academy Awards, winning 5, including Best Picture, Best Screenplay, Adapted, Best Cinematography, Color, Best Film Editing and Best Music Score of a Dramatic or Comedy Picture, beating out critically and publicly praised films, Friendly Persuasion, Giant, The King and I and the Ten Commandments. It is also one of the few Best Picture winners not to be nominated in any acting category. 1957, The Bridge on the River Kwai. The Bridge on the River Kwai is a 1957 epic war film directed by David Lean and based on the novel The Bridge over the River Kwai, written by Pierre Boulle. Boulle's novel and the film's screenplay are almost entirely fictional, but use the construction of the Burma Railway in 1942 to 1943 as their historical setting. It was initially scripted by screenwriter Carl Foreman, who was later replaced by Michael Wilson. Both writers had to work in secret as they were on the Hollywood blacklist and had fled to the UK in order to continue working. As a result, Boulle, who did not speak English, was credited and received the Academy Award for Best Adapted Screenplay. Many years later, Carl Foreman and Michael Wilson posthumously received the Academy Award. The film won 7 Academy Awards at the 30th Academy Awards. Best Picture for Sam Spiegel, Best Director for David Lean, Best Actor for Alec Guinness, Best Screenplay, based on material from another medium, for Michael Wilson, Carl Foreman and Pierre Boulle, Best Cinematography for Jack Hildyard, Best Film Editing for Peter Taylor and Best Original Score for Malcolm Arnold. In 1999, the British Film Institute voted The Bridge on the River Kwai the 11th greatest British film of the 20th century. 1958, Gigi. Gigi is a 1958 American musical romantic comedy film directed by Vincente Minnelli and processed using Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer's Eastman Color film process Metro-Color. The screenplay by Alan J. Lerner is based on the 1944 novella by Colette, with all 9 nominations. Gigi won a record-breaking 9 Academy Awards in 1959, including Best Picture and Vincente Minnelli for Best Director. However, this record only lasted for 1 year, as Ben-Hur broke this record the following year with 11 Oscars. In tribute to Gigi's domination of the Oscars, the MGM switchboard answered calls the following day with MGGM. Gigi eventually, along with 1987's The Last Emperor, held the record as the films with the most Academy Award wins in every category in which it was nominated until 2003's The Lord of the Rings. The Return of the King broke the record at the 2004 Oscars ceremony with 11 Oscar nominations and 11 Oscar wins. 1959, Ben-Hur. Ben-Hur is a 1959 American religious epic film directed by William Wyler, produced by Sam Zimbalist and starring Charlton Heston as the title character, a remake of the 1925 silent film with a similar title. It was adapted from Lew Wallace's 1880 novel Ben-Hur, A Tale of the Christ. Ben-Hur had the largest budget, $15.175 million, as well as the largest sets built of any film produced at the time. Costume designer Elizabeth Haffenden oversaw a staff of 100 wardrobe fabricators to make the costumes, and a workshop employing 200 artists and workmen provided the hundreds of friezes and statues needed in the film. Over 200 camels and 2,500 horses were used in the shooting of the film, with some 10,000 extras. The sea battle was filmed using miniatures in a huge tank on the back lot at the Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer Studios in Culver City, California. The 9-minute chariot race has become one of cinema's most famous action sequences, and the score, composed and conducted by Miklos Rasha, was at the time the longest ever composed for a film and was highly influential on cinema for over 15 years. It was the fastest grossing as well as the highest grossing film of 1959, becoming the second highest grossing film in history at the time, after Gone with the Wind. It won a record 11 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, Best Director for William Wyler, Best Actor in a Leading Role for Charlton Heston, Best Actor in a Supporting Role for Griffith and Best Cinematography, Color for Surtees. It also won Golden Globe Awards for Best Motion Picture, Drama, Best Director and Best Supporting Actor, Motion Picture for Stephen Boyd. In 1998, the American Film Institute named it the 72nd Best American Film and the 2nd Best American Epic Film in the AFI's 10 Top 10. 1960, The Apartment. The Apartment is a 1960 American romantic comedy drama film directed and produced by Billy Wilder from a screenplay he co-wrote with I.A.L. Diamond. The Apartment was distributed by United Artists to widespread critical acclaim and was a commercial success. Despite controversy owing to its subject matter, it became the 8th highest-grossing film of 1960. At the 33rd Academy Awards, the film was nominated for 10 awards and won 5, including Best Picture, Best Director for Billy Wilder and Best Screenplay. Jack Lemmon, Shirley MacLaine and Jack Crushon were nominated for Best Actor, Best Actress and Best Supporting Actor respectively, and Lemmon and MacLaine won Golden Globe Awards for their performances. 1961, West Side Story. West Side Story is a 1961 American musical romantic drama film directed by Robert Wise and Jerome Robbins. The film is an adaptation of the 1957 Broadway musical of the same title, which in turn was inspired by Shakespeare's play Romeo and Juliet. The film received praise from critics and viewers and became the highest-grossing film of 1961. It was nominated for 11 Academy Awards and won 10, including Best Picture, Best Director for Robert Wise and Jerome Robbins, Best Supporting Actor for George Chakiris, Best Supporting Actress for Rita Moreno, in addition to Academy Honorary Award for Jerome Robbins, becoming the record holder for the most wins for a musical. West Side Story is regarded as one of the greatest musical films of all time. 1962, Lawrence of Arabia. Lawrence of Arabia is a 1962 epic biographical adventure drama film directed by David Lean. It is based on the life of T.E. Lawrence and his 1926 book 7 Pillars of Wisdom, also known as Revolt in the Desert. The film stars Peter O'Toole as Lawrence with Alec Guinness playing Prince Faisal. The film depicts Lawrence's experiences in the Ottoman provinces of Hijaz and Greater Syria during the First World War, in particular his attacks on Aqaba and Damascus and his involvement in the Arab National Council. Its themes include Lawrence's emotional struggles with the violence inherent in war, his identity and his divided allegiance between his native Britain and his newfound comrades within the Arabian Desert tribes. The film was nominated for 10 Oscars at the 35th Academy Awards in 1963, winning 7 including Best Picture and Best Director for David Lean. It also won the Golden Globe Award for Best Motion Picture, Drama and the BAFTA Awards for Best Film and Outstanding British Film. 1963, Tom Jones. Tom Jones is a 1963 British period comedy film directed by Tony Richardson. It's an adaptation of Henry Fielding's classic 1749 novel The History of Tom Jones, a Foundling. The film was a success both critically and at the box office and was one of the most critically acclaimed and popular comedies of its time. At the 36th Academy Awards, it was nominated for 10 Oscars, winning 4, Best Picture, Best Director for Tony Richardson, Best Adapted Screenplay and Best Original Score. It also won 2 Golden Globe Awards, including Best Motion Picture, Musical or Comedy and 3 BAFTA Awards including Best Film and Best British Film. In 1999, the British Film Institute ranked it as the 51st greatest British film of the 20th century. 1964, My Fair Lady. My Fair Lady is a 1964 American musical comedy drama film directed by George Cukor. The film adapted from the 1956 Lerner and Loewy stage musical based on George Bernard Shaw's 1913 stage play Pygmalion. The film stars Audrey Hepburn as Eliza Doolittle, replacing Julie Andrews from the stage musical, and Rex Harrison as Henry Higgins, reprising his role from the stage musical with Stanley Holloway, Gladys Cooper and Wilfred Hyde-White in supporting roles. A critical and commercial success, it became the second highest-grossing film of 1964. It won 8 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, Best Director for George Cukor and Best Actor for Rex Harrison. American Film Institute included the film as number 91 in its 1998 AFI's 100 Years 100 Movies, as number 12 in its 2002 AFI's 100 Years 100 Passions, and as number 8 in its 2006 AFI's Greatest Movie Musicals. 1965, The Sound of Music. The Sound of Music is a 1965 American musical drama film produced and directed by Robert Wise from a screenplay written by Ernest Lehman. The film is an adaptation of the 1959 stage musical composed by Richard Rodgers, with lyrics by Oscar Hammerstein II and a book by Lindsay and Krauss. It is based on the 1949 memoir The Story of the Trapp Family Singers by Maria von Trapp and is set in Salzburg, Austria. It is a fictional retelling of her experiences as governess to 7 children, her eventual marriage with their father Captain George von Trapp and their escape during the Anschluss in 1938. Initial critical response to the film was mixed, but it was a major commercial success, becoming the #1 box office film after 4 weeks and the highest-grossing film of 1965. By November 1966, The Sound of Music had become the highest-grossing film of all time, surpassing Gone with the Wind, and it held that distinction for 5 years. The film was popular throughout the world, breaking previous box office records in 29 countries. It sold 283 million admissions worldwide and earned a total worldwide gross of $286 million. The Sound of Music received 5 Academy Awards, including Best Picture and Best Director for Robert Wise. The film also received Golden Globe Awards for Best Motion Picture and Best Actress for Julie Andrews, the Directors Guild of America Award for Outstanding Directorial Achievement, and the Writers Guild of America Award for Best Written American Musical. In 1998, the American Film Institute, AFI, listed The Sound of Music as the 55th greatest American film of all time and the 4th greatest film musical. 1966, A Man for All Seasons. A Man for All Seasons is a 1966 British historical drama film directed and produced by Fred Zinnemann, adapted by Robert Bolt from his play of the same name. It depicts the final years of Sir Thomas More, the 16th-century Lord Chancellor of England, who refused both to sign a letter asking Pope Clement VII to annul Henry VIII of England's marriage to Catherine of Aragon and to take an oath of supremacy declaring Henry supreme head of the Church of England. A Man for All Seasons was a critical and box office success. It won the Academy Award for Best Picture at the 39th Academy Awards, while the cast and crew won another 5, including Best Director for Fred Zinnemann and Best Actor for Schofield. It also won the Golden Globe Award for Best Motion Picture, Drama and the BAFTA Awards for Best Film and Best British Film. In 1999, the British Film Institute named it the 43rd greatest British film of all time. 1967, In the Heat of the Night. In the Heat of the Night is a 1967 American mystery drama film directed by Norman Jewison. It tells the story of Virgil Tibbs, Sidney Poitier, a black police detective from Philadelphia who becomes embroiled in a murder investigation in a small town in Mississippi. The film was adapted by Sterling Siliphant from John Ball's 1965 novel of the same name. At the 40th Academy Awards, the film was nominated for 7 Oscars, winning 5, including Best Picture, Best Adapted Screenplay and Best Actor for Rod Steiger. Quincy Jones' score, featuring a title song performed by Ray Charles, was nominated for a Grammy Award. The success of the film spawned 2 film sequels featuring Sidney Poitier and a television series of the same name, which aired from 1988 to 1995. In the Heat of the Night is widely considered one of the most important American films of the 1960s. The quote, "They call me Mr. Tibbs," was listed as number 16 on the American Film Institute's 100 Years 100 Movie Quotes, a list of top film quotes. 1968, Oliver. Oliver is a 1968 British period musical drama film directed by Carol Reed, based on Lionel Bart's 1960 stage musical, itself an adaptation of Charles Dickens's 1838 novel Oliver Twist. The picture includes such musical numbers as Food, Glorious Food, Consider Yourself, As Long as He Needs Me, I'd Do Anything, You've Got to Pick a Pocket or Two, and Where is Love? At the 41st Academy Awards for 1968, Oliver was nominated for 11 Academy Awards and won 6, including Best Picture, Best Director for Carol Reed and an honorary award for choreographer Anna White. At the 26th Golden Globe Awards, the film won 2 Golden Globes, Best Motion Picture, Musical or Comedy, and Best Actor, Musical or Comedy for Ron Moody. The British Film Institute ranked Oliver the 77th greatest British film of the 20th century. In 2017, a poll of 150 actors, directors, writers, producers and critics for Time Out magazine ranked it the 69th best British film ever. 1969, Midnight Cowboy. Midnight Cowboy is a 1969 American drama film directed by John Schlesinger, adapted by Waldo Salt from the 1965 novel by James Leo Herlihy. The film stars Dustin Hoffman and Jon Voight. Set in New York City, Midnight Cowboy depicts the unlikely friendship between 2 hustlers, naive prostitute Joe Buck, Voight, and ailing con man Rico Rizzo, Hoffman, referred to as Ratso. At the 42nd Academy Awards, the film won 3 awards, Best Picture, Best Director for John Schlesinger and Best Adapted Screenplay for Waldo Salt. Midnight Cowboy is the only X-rated film, equivalent of the current NC-17 rating, to win Best Picture. It placed 36th on the American Film Institute's 1998 list of the 100 greatest American films of all time and 43rd on its 2007 updated version.